What is going on? You are listening to episode 255 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh, player 2. Nightcrawler, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going? And it's Crawler coming at you.
How is it going? We got a player 3. You guys can't see him in the video because he doesn't have his video turned on, but he's here in audio form. Super Nintendad, what's up, man?
What's going on? How's it going? Super Nintendad backing away a little as Crawler comes at me.
There you go. There you go. Whoa. He just jumped in the Twitch stream and I was like, hey, you should come join us. He's like, okay, but I don't have a shirt on, so I'm not using video. And we were like, oh, man. So,
hey, listen, you're lucky I turned my fan off. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's a good thing. So, hey, that music that just ended was from On Being Human. You can check them out on Spotify and YouTube. This is an unofficial Nintendo podcast, but we sure do love Nintendo. And if you want to get yourself a free book from Audible, head on over to audibletrial.com/NPC. And there you can pick a free book that you want. If you want to go directly to my book, head on over to n64josh.com/audible and get my book for free, Another Castle. All right? OPSeat is the gaming chair I'm sitting in. Head on over to n64josh.com/OPSeat. All chairs are $20 off right now. Plus my URL right there gives you another $10. That's $30 off plus free shipping. You're looking at a sweet gaming chair for a sweet deal. I don't know what Crawler's waiting for. I'm not sure.
Tax returns, maybe.
There you go. There you go. Last year was the PC. Now the chair to sit in to play that PC. Yep. All right. Cool. Lastly, like I mentioned, my book, guys, n64josh.com/anothercastle. If you want to read the words that I've written about just enjoying the journey. And, you know, sometimes life throws some wrenches in our path, and we still get to enjoy the journey. n64josh.com/anothercastle. With that, let's get to the announcements.
Hey, listen!
Couple things. We're still putting together a writing team for n64josh.com. We are slowly but surely getting there. I am teaching people how to put up posts, things like that. If you are interested, info@n64josh.com is where you can email me. But I'm going to say go to the Discord and hit me up there. I can drop you into our writers channel and you can start writing right away. Now, the purpose of this is to help you get more exposure for your content while helping me create content. This is also stuff that you could possibly put on a resume saying, hey, you did some game journalism, things like that. Okay, so this is meant to be professional. This isn't just a bunch of, this isn't just about me hanging out with some buddies and putting a little blog together. Like, no, we want to provide valuable content to the people that read this stuff. So, n64josh.com/Discord is where you can jump in and say, hey, I want to write. You can also jump in and say, hey, I want to play games with some awesome people, because that's what we have a whole lot of in there. There's a lot of awesome people in there. And lastly, I always tell you guys at the end, but if you want to get a hold of me on any kind of social media, it's N64Josh. At N64Josh is Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. So, coming out, we're slowly building a team. Who knows? I might even start putting together a team for YouTube videos and things like that, where we can really start just taking over the world with our Nintendo news and other gaming news too. We might as well branch out. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, right? So, yep. Krosif in Discord in Twitch chat says best Discord in the universe. So there you go. Krosif has spoken. So pay attention. All right. With that, let's talk about the stuff we've been playing. I'm going to go first because I always go last, so I'm going first today.
Go for it.
I've actually played some stuff. This weekend was crazy busy. I made a game called Kick Asteroids, and that's with 2 S's. And we used motion capture in our game at a 48-hour game jam. I learned how to use the motion capture software on Thursday. Friday, we were putting it in the game. And it was wild. It was wild.
Yeah,
you
got a YouTube video up there about it, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's on you guys have seen me hanging out with Caitlin Burt, so it's on her channel. If you just look up Kick Asteroids Game Jam, you'll find the video. You might even find the game. It's on the Global Game Jam page. So,
oh, it's playable?
It is
Like
playable
a,
on PC.
in like a Flash player or something like that.
I think you might have to have a Unity player, possibly,
Okay.
but I don't know exactly. We didn't have the plugin to be able to put it on Mac, so I couldn't play it. But essentially, our theme was repair, and so we created this little ship that a character runs around the outside. We did voice acting for it. We did I did all the music, so it's like kind of 80s inspired, and so like everything's like, if you make it to the third stage, you're gonna hear like some special music. Okay, so it was so much fun. It was so much fun, and so I want to give a shout out to the whole team. Troy, Jose, Brittany, and Caitlin. It was an absolute blast. My biggest takeaway is that I will make sure I show up there with a computer next time, not just my iPad. Because once I got done making all the music and whatnot, then I was like, what do I do now? What do I do now? So, still, because we had to put together a video for the event, all that kind of stuff. So there was video to edit, and I shot a bunch of video and vlogs, things like that. So it was a really, really incredible time, and so many great teams there putting out games. It was awesome. So, I do recommend going to the Global Game Jam page, Global Game Jam 2020 Seattle, and then you can find all the games that were made, and some were pretty incredible. So, and like I said, we had a great time, and it's still getting polished. There may be more versions of this game coming out, So we'll see. But as far as other things I played some Smash. There's a brand new character to Smash. I've still only played Mario, and I've played some Pokemon. I got all my badges today. We are on. If you guys show up at the stream tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We are going to be finishing Pokemon Sword, and then I don't know what we'll do. Shiny Hunt.
You'll roll credits, and then you'll be where I am, where I didn't go play anymore after that. But there is more to be had after rolling credits, like the even story stuff.
Oh, cool. My favorite thing so far in stream when I play it, they're like, "How do you already have that legendary dragon?" And I'm like, "'Cause I've already been to the legendary area." And they're like, "What is this legendary area you speak of?" And I'm like, "It's called the area where you trade. And people send you stuff you're not supposed to have."
Streamer perks.
Streamer perks. There you go. So I still have no clue what beats what in that game other than water beats fire. I know that. Fire beats ice, I think. So I think the fire does pretty good against grass too. I think. I don't know. Maybe Crawler doesn't know either. I'm not sure. So Super Nintendo.
I'm just gonna let you keep going.
Help us out here. Help us out. There, chat's just making fun of the way I said specific and Pacific and Pacific. So Carbon says he's proud. So I'm learning. It's slow, but I'm learning.
You got multiple monitors. All you need to do is put up that cheat sheet.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. The other game I played was some Killer Queen Black. So. Yeah, because one of the I went to a job fair on Wednesday. Oh, fun fact! Right now, I'm unemployed. So if anybody has any sweet tech jobs in Seattle they know about, doesn't have to necessarily be gaming. Marketing is totally up my alley with content and whatnot. Hit me up. That'd be sweet. My DMs are open on Twitter @N64Josh, and but one of the companies I was talking with, they do Smash tournaments at the during business hours, and they were like, "We want to do it with every version." I'm like, "I got you." So I got to make sure I include that in my cover letter. That I got all the classic consoles. So yeah, it was a killer weekend. It was a great week. That's pretty much all I've played on the Switch, though. I'm still loving Pokemon. Man, it's so much fun. I think it's the most fun for me just because of the interaction with people in chat, and I really love it. I actually started having less fun playing it by myself, so I just
Yeah, because you need those backseat gamers.
Wait, hey now. You're probably right. But it's still fun to just have like a village of people working at it.
Oh,
know?
yeah.
So, yeah, it's good stuff. It's good
I
stuff.
mean, that was some of the most fun I think you had going back 2 years ago with Xenoblade as well. Like that whole community aspect of it all.
Yeah. 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 What have you been playing, dude?
So still trying to escape Tarkov, but when I'm not doing that, I've been I jumped into Smash. I checked out Byleth. I've been playing as female Byleth, so I'll refer to her as she. But she's a little bit slow. Like it's a slower moving character, I think, because of just all the different tools that are available with like the bow and the axe and the lance. Spacing is a big thing with that character. But the speed has kind of thrown me off a little bit. So it hasn't quite been my favorite to play, but that's, I think, just unfamiliarity with it all. The recovery is super fun with that up B and the sword whip.
Yeah.
Being able to latch onto the side, kind of like Zero Suit or the Belmonts.
Right. Right. I did 3 matches.
And then she's got like that same thing, uses a grapple and like attack and push off attack with up B, kind of like Joker. So there's a lot to be had there. But I did jump back in and played more as Corrin, especially yesterday. I played quite a few matches yesterday. So that's been kind of mostly what I've been playing. Still hopping into Mario Kart occasionally. And then I know Hate hasn't been on the show here in a little bit, but he was talking, and I've been talking with some other people at work as well. And I'm kind of having an urge to want to go back into play some more or restart Breath of the Wild. I'm not sure what I want to do. I still have shrines to find and some stuff to do in my original playthrough. Maybe it's time to pull up a guide and go hunt them down without. I've avoided a guide with that game, so that might be something I think about here in the next little bit.
So I played Byleth against Byleth. I did 3 matches. The person kept rematching me, and it's a little bit of a. I'm curious to find out like what most people are saying about the matchup against Mario, because all of Byleth's moves are like there's some range on them.
Yeah, you gotta find a way to get in.
Exactly. I was finding the fireballs were doing a pretty good job of letting me in. The funniest thing though was the final match. I got a few spikes just into oblivion, which was beautiful. But the last match was on a Game & Watch stage that wasn't Battlefield, and I had gone down a stock.
Was it the walk off, like the whole walk off?
Yeah. So I was like, well, I know I didn't pick this, so that means they did. And so I had taken a stock, and I had just lost a stock, I had 1 stock left, they had 2 stocks. We were both at 0. I grabbed her, threw her, walked up to her, and threw her again, and it was close enough to. And I was like, serves you right, Don't. And then that's how I ended up winning the match too. I'm like, I'm just gonna toss you off this. I'm just gonna toss you as soon as I get close enough. You're done. And so, yeah.
I do have another goal that I'd like to you and I both started playing Final Fantasy VII, I think about the same time.
Yeah.
I have a goal here before April to at least get out of Midgar, so I can have that kind of complete, because I do have the remaster the remake or remaster. I don't know what it technically. I think it's a remake.
Right.
Pre-ordered, so I want to be able to have beaten, quote unquote, that part of what the first part is of that game, so I can play through the remaster.
I see. I'm assuming it's going to go up to the point where you're on the bike. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I from what I understand, because I don't know the story a whole lot, but I think it's from Chris. How much have you played of Final Fantasy VII? Is it like, because there's a point where you leave
4 or 5
Midgar.
times, yeah.
There's a point where you leave Midgar and then it becomes like a more open world, like.
Yeah, it's basically right after the motorcycle part. You fight a boss and then you leave Midgar, and then it just becomes like a big, huge open area. And apparently they're going to be adding a lot of stuff for that remake, though.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Carbon Corvid in chat says he charged the bow to full, and a wolf reflected me. I was on the map, and then I wasn't.
Then you were probably gone off that map quick when it came to that.
And I reflected one arrow back that was fully charged, and yeah, it was. They were at a low percent, and does
Mario's cape amplify damage, or does it just send the exact same thing back?
I don't know if it amplifies. I know he didn't get buffed like everyone else did in the last update.
He got a bigger shield. Everyone got a bigger shield.
Yeah, right. Of course. Yeah, super useful. Super. So,
his cape still spins Little Mac around.
That's true.
So just fall straight down.
That's true. That's true. What, Chris? What have you been playing? I've been seeing your Twitter's been kind of blowing up with some indie titles and things like that.
Yeah. So there's this game called Mosaic, where you're basically playing as this like depressed guy working a 9-to-5 job, and he's got to get up, brush his teeth, walk to work, and then check his phone to see if it's going to rain. And when you check your phone, there's this game called Blip Blop, and it's just a clicker. Do you know, like an idle game where you click on it enough, and then eventually you can just hit it, use the points. Every click is a point,
right.
And then you can use those points to get stuff so that it's clicking even while you're not on it. And so I got the game, started it, I sat up in the bed in the game, and then for the next hour and a half I just sat there clicking.
No way.
This blop thing. And then I ended up getting an email or from my work saying I got in trouble because I was late because I was just sitting in bed clicking on this Blip Blop. So then they have it a phone app too, and so I got that. So I've been playing that. Mosaic
is the game just like a life simulator then?
No, because it's kind of like surreal. You basically, like, he's like daydreaming a lot, and all this other stuff is happening. And so you go, every time you go to work, it's just kind of like weird stuff happens. And like you might play as like a butterfly at some point, and then you play as him. Then he sees a cat, and then like gets distracted by the cat and goes over and pets the cat, and then sees like this building just where he works in the distance just collapse, and he's all excited about, happy about it. And then he comes back, like you can tell when you're about to go into a daydream. And then work itself is just like this, just like a mini game, like a wireframe mini game where you got to like connect all the pieces and then kind of build them up till you get enough power to finish the circuit board or whatever. And yeah, that's Mosaic.
Did you play Spider-Man on PS4?
Yeah.
Is it like to complete the circuit stuff, like those mini games in there?
No, it's kind of like what's the name of that? It's almost like, remember Little Inferno? The people that made Little Inferno. They also made a game on the Wii called where it's like these little blobs and you got to stick them.
The goo game.
World of Goo, yeah.
Yeah.
So basically you need to like use these little electrodes and use them to power another circuit board, like and then move them, like you want to move them up in the right order so that you can get up to the right power board. And it's kind of like a just like small little mini game, and you do that, and depending on how efficiently and fast you can do it, then you can get like a bonus for being efficient at your job. But then you also have to like make sure when your alarm goes off, you got to wake up, get up, brush your teeth, get ready, and go right to work. Otherwise you get in trouble for being late. They don't have it on the Switch version, but the Xbox version you can pay an extra $1 because so in the game you just are wearing like a suit and tie, like a shirt and tie, and it's kind of like run down and grungy looking. But if you pay an extra $1 of DLC, you get like a nice looking tie and
horse armor.
Nice.
You get horse armor in this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you get a nice looking a real nice looking phone case for your phone and everything like that. And yeah, it's kind of bizarre. But so I've been playing that, and then there's a couple games that are coming out soon. Seventh Sector, which is a game I think came out on PC a while ago, where you are playing as a piece single like dot of electricity, and you have to go through the wires, and from the wires you can, if there's two wires close to each other, you can zap from one wire to the other, and you got to, it's basically just a puzzle game.
Like a maze kind of puzzle game.
Yeah, you got to solve these different puzzles. It's like in actual like buildings and surrounding, like, so there's like a story going on around you while you're doing this stuff, and it's kind of like a cyberpunky world. And that comes out tomorrow, the 5th, Wednesday the 5th. Okay. And then I've also been playing another game but it doesn't come out until like I think the end of the month. It's like One Finger Death Punch 2, which it's made by like two guys, and in the game it was in a Nintendo Direct or an Indie Direct, and they have he's kind of like a stick figure guy almost, and then there's like these stick figures running at you on both sides.
Oh, that was in the last one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah, and you got to press wire A to punch them. Yeah.
And then you're big into indies and other stuff. Did you play Florence on your phone? Because I know that was announced. I don't have it in the notes yet, but that's going to be coming to Switch and PC. Is that something you've played and would recommend to people? I know it kind of won awards, I think, last year or whatever year it came out.
It came out in 2018, and it comes out February 13th on the Switch and PC. And for the PC, it's $5.99. I'm not sure if it's the same on the Switch, but I
Switch
got it
tax. It'll probably be a little bit more.
Yeah, like $9.99. But I got it on my phone. It won a bunch of awards, but apparently the developer said it won a lot of awards, but not that many people actually played it.
Yeah, because it was a more expensive phone game, and people are turned off by that. So it coming to console and Steam, I think, will help it get more notoriety.
Yeah, apparently it's only coming to the Switch and then PC, Mac, and because I think it might be one of those touchscreen only games, because the game's like only like an hour long. It's like a really good story, but once you beat it, there's no real point in going back to it. But that being said, I did download it again, and I want to play through it to see how it compares on the phone, and then play through it again on the Switch. But yeah, that's February 13th that comes out. But a game that isn't an indie game that I've been playing a lot is Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. I got real back into Monster Hunter, and so
that's awesome.
I've just been grinding monsters over and over again, and then I started playing Monster Hunter World, and then I'm just killing a lot of monsters and hitting a lot of screens on Blip Blop. On my phone.
There you go.
And it even got me to re-download Dragalia Lost, because they got a Monster Hunter event going on right now until the end of the month. So I downloaded that, and then I was like, well, I don't really want to play it again. So Dragalia Lost. So yeah. So that's what I've been playing.
Right on. Let's jump into the news. All right. Animal Crossing Switch bundle. What is going on? Like, I get an email. That's how I find out about this. I get an email.
It was very lackluster in how they announced it.
Yeah, like, this email pops up. I'm like, well, that's cool, but why are we not doing a direct for this? Why? We're going to talk about it later. But, yeah, it comes out 3/13, I believe there are pre-orders up on Amazon right now. If you want to use my Amazon link, go to n64josh.com/Amazon, and then go search for it. That'll That's my little affiliate link there. So there you go. But yeah, Animal Crossing Switch bundle looks cool.
If you like physical editions, though, that's going to probably be a download. Oh no, this one it doesn't have the game in it. It's just the console.
So you don't have to worry about that.
No game.
You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. Yikes. No game. Very interesting.
And if you just want the Joy-Con, the Joy-Cons are going to be sold separately in Japan. So
Yeah, so Play Asia will be your friend there.
Got it.
But it's got I mean, this is the most colorful and most, like, if you compare this to Smash, I think Smash had a really cool dock art on it, but it was just black and white, kind of etched in. And then Diablo had artwork on the dock as well. Correct? No, was Diablo just artwork on the back of the Switch?
I don't remember. Let me look it up. I got Google.
I think the dock was just the same, because I think both on the digital, or sorry, the Dragon Quest 11 in Japan, and also the dock, Diablo one.
The dock has 2 demons on it.
Okay.
Or something. Yeah, it's got something on it.
I think Dragon Quest 11 was only artwork on the back of the Switch. So they've kind of been all over, but this has got Tom Nook on the island. Kind of, it's colorful dock. It looks really cool, and then the Joy-Cons are like a seafoam and a turquoise, kind of 2 different colors.
Yeah, right.
don't forget about Tsum Tsum. Disney Tsum.
That's true.
It had Mickey Mouse home button.
That was probably one of the coolest features that it had.
Huh. Yeah. Interesting. But yeah, I mean, the back of this thing looks cool. Was there a video for this somewhere?
Yeah, the Japanese Twitter page, I think. Or the UK
because I'm
Twitter.
like, I saw.
Yeah, so this goes back to the whole thing we were talking about a couple weeks ago, where it's like Nintendo of America, Nintendo of Japan, and Nintendo of Europe aren't all tweeting and promoting stuff at the same time. They also don't get the same marketing materials, because Japan usually has trailers and we kind of get press releases, and sometimes Nintendo of Europe does a better job on the press release than Nintendo of America does on their Twitter. So it's really odd. The emails, I mean, are obviously being distributed by a mass email algorithm, so it's like you get them kind of staggered a little bit sometimes. But it's very odd how they're marketing everything. But like Josh said, we're gonna dive into this a little bit later.
Right.
Yeah,
we still haven't gotten Brain Academy.
Yeah, that's odd as well, because Europe has it, right, and Japan has it,
and they both got the stylus too.
And there's DLC. There's DLC already for that, I think, or at least a free update.
It was announced, like free update. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, I got a heated blanket, and it is wonderful.
That's good. That's good.
Good for playing your Switch in bed.
Yeah. In my computer chair.
Damon X Machina.
The Nintendo Switch.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah.
No,
I was gonna say I really like the dock.
Yeah.
The dock. Because the way I have my computer set up, it's like it's behind my computer screen. So. But that dock, I'd want to put it somewhere where you could see it.
Yeah, makes sense.
Beautiful.
It's very, very bright colored. I overall, I mean, it kind of looks how I expected it would. I was kind of expecting maybe some like something on the Joy-Cons as far as like colors, but it looks like these are also coming with the wrist straps based on the.
Yeah, they have matching colors.
Yeah, they aren't just the black ones. So Pitt says he wishes the Joy-Cons were solid. So.
The one thing that sucks is like if you get Joy-Con drift and send it back, they don't guarantee you get the same Joy-Con back.
Yikes.
Hopefully Nintendo PR works on that. And
yeah.
Hopefully they're constructed better and they don't have drift. That's the real reality that we can hope for.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. There we go. Let's hope. So Daemon X Machina is going to be coming to Steam next week, 2/13, and the question is, what does this mean for other possible second party games that they've shown up on the Switch, maybe didn't do so. I can't imagine this game did super well, and then.
I mean, I'm mainly looking. I don't know. Is Astral Chain that's a second party, right? Because that's Platinum, I think.
But I think Nintendo has the IP, right?
Ownership, more ownership of that than. I mean, because you're looking at these things that there was a game a month last year near the end of there were a lot of games, but they weren't big IP. Some of them were new IP. And a lot of people were maybe holding out for Pokemon at the end of the year and were disappointed that we didn't have Animal Crossing right away. So maybe they let some of these games pass over. I have both Daemon X Machina and Astral Chain. I played a little bit. I didn't play a lot. But I think people that are hungry for a mech game, I think this might actually do pretty well on Steam for anyone that maybe doesn't have a Switch and is interested in it, depending on what the price point. I don't know what the price point is going to be on Steam.
This seems like it would be a great game to sell at $29.99 or even $19.99. If it's just digital, it would probably do really well. But Pitt's saying it's $47.99.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think that is a launch pre-order bonus. Yeah, 20% off right now.
Yeah. And that's 20% off. So they're going for the full retail price. I just don't know. I mean, the game is fun, and it does seem like there is quite a bit of content there. So, but it just seems like it seems to me this would be like a no-brainer. A lot of people would pull the trigger on this and throw it into their digital library and maybe not even play it if it was $20-$30. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Steam's good about sales, so maybe this will eventually work its way down. It just depends on the publisher. So
yeah, which is Marvelous, right?
Marvelous Games, yeah.
And then they also, because they had some the Witcher DLC on the Switch for that game last year, I think. And then Little Town Hero came onto the Switch, and now it's coming to PS4. And yeah, I just think Nintendo really just wants content, and they're trying to get games they think will be good to fill out the empty spots that they have.
Well, and what does this maybe mean if companies are signing exclusivity contracts, timed exclusivity contracts, and we're just not hearing about it? It's always kind of out there that it's a known thing now with the Final Fantasy remake that they have a year-long exclusivity with PlayStation, and then Xbox gets it the next year. And Death Stranding is coming to Epic Game Store here sometime this year. I don't know if it's clear when that's coming out, but we hear about these games on PlayStation and Xbox having those timed exclusive windows, and maybe Nintendo's just kind of keeping this stuff close to the vest and we're not hearing about it, and then all of a sudden a week before Daemon X Machina is coming out on Steam, we hear about it. So it's maybe it's just kind of pushed down in the legal back rooms of Nintendo that we just don't know that these things are possible to come out on other platforms.
Yeah, but that's nothing new though, because during the Nintendo Directs where they talk about new indie games, they'll be exclusively on the Switch, and they'll be no, it is coming and everything else, it's just coming a week early on the Switch or something like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, the more people get to play it, the better, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Saints Row 4. Oh, go ahead.
Saints Row 4.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say real quick that Daemon X Machina actually made it into the top on the eShop charts, unlike one of the best games on the Switch, which is Sushi Striker, which did not make it in the top.
Is that still only on DS? And that's a Nintendo. Is that Nintendo first party?
Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe that's something that would do well, but Nintendo's not about to put stuff that they have rights to
on Epic Game Store. Yeah, put it on the Xbox.
Just put Sushi Striker on mobile.
Yeah, that would do well.
Should do. Mm-hmm.
It's a mobile
And
game.
WarioWare. But like you said, the Saints Row 4 is coming out March 27th.
Yeah, re-elected. Saints Row.
Re-elected.
Did you guys play the last one that was on the Switch?
I haven't. I think I have a free Saints Row that I got from Games with Gold. I don't even know which one it is. But I've always, I know they've gotten better over the years, but when they first came out, it was always, I viewed it personally as just like a cheap knockoff that was tongue-in-cheek, like that wasn't as high quality as what Rockstar put out. So I never tended to dive too deep into them. So I have one, but I haven't really looked at it that much.
Got it.
Right. They tried to make it like, it's kind of like jokey, jokey GTA, just like a. And
because they kind of break fourth wall and do other stuff in there.
Right, they talk to you, especially in the fourth one. In the fourth one, you play as the president of the United States,
with like aliens and other stuff running around.
Aliens come down and then put you into, basically, without calling it that, the Matrix. And so eventually you realize it and you become like Neo and you can fly around the city.
Josh's ears perked up when you said Matrix.
Yeah, I was like, what?
And you can play 2-player co-op online or local. And if you get it, when the game first came out, the third one on the Switch, it was really rough. And then they released a couple patches and it got a little better. And so it's $40 game right now. If you had Saints Row the Third, it's an extra 10% off on the eShop.
Cool. Let's see this. So we don't have it in the notes here, but Smash's update came out. The beefy Smash dudes did a great video showcasing everything. Some things that weren't even in the patch notes that they ended up picking up on. One of them being a move that Ryu and Ken do now that allows them to basically charge their down smash and then move it into a different move. I think that's what it does. It may not be the down smash, but anyway, it allows them to charge a move and then cancel and move to another move. And it was something that they patched out already once, but then it has gotten back in probably through a bug because it does make them a little OP, I guess, according to what they were saying.
Hotfix coming sometime soon, probably.
Could be, yeah, it could be. But a lot of characters saw buffs. The only characters to really see nerfs were, I think, Palutena saw a small nerf.
Paulo and Joker both got their down throws. The opponent that you throw will bounce further away from you. So that you can't combo right into something.
Right. Yeah. So, similar issue to Mario down throw. You got to move forward in order to get the combo started. It's still doable. I'm just not sure about those two anymore. But like the Toon Link and Young Link both got some pretty significant buffs, to make them a little more.
I think DK got a buff as well.
I didn't. I'm just going off of memory, so
I think I was just reading the notes. I think he had gotten a buff. I don't remember, but
gotcha.
Cloud, I think.
Cloud definitely did.
Cloud did.
His limit charges faster now.
And Zelda does something.
Oh yeah, Zelda saw a couple different changes, and same with Samus, and Zero Suit Samus and Dark Samus. They all got some buffs.
Yeah, because Mars really needed a buff after winning Genesis with solo ZSS.
He's probably stoked, like, yes, let's bring it, So
ZSS seems to be MK Leo's kryptonite with Joker. He couldn't edgeguard her really. So
interesting. So lastly here, Platinum Games launched a Kickstarter for the Wonderful 101, and immediately it reached its $50,000 goal. And it's already over $1 million. And
and it has like 2 more stretch goals, like 1.5 and 1.75, to add some like DLC features. It'll be free for the Kickstarter backers or something like that, but it'll be added stuff. But I mean, the game is already. You said it's Wii U originally, right, Josh?
Yeah, it's a Wii U title that, like, I'm personally shocked by this. Right? Like, I don't know who is excited for this game. I don't know that this game. It's at what? It's almost at $1.3 million. I'm not sure if this is one of those games that like people were like, man, I wish I had the Wii U just to play this, but it wasn't quite enough to get them to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Well, and this is so like they're still developing Bayonetta 3, and that's backed by Nintendo. This is they're self-publishing this. I guess they have a significant financial backer that they had going into this, but they needed to, like most Indiegogo or Kickstarter
like the proof to them
backing. They need the proof to that backer that their money would be well spent, and that they would already have these copies pre-sold, which is pretty much what the kind of Kickstarters become for some things, and video games especially. It's especially, this is a game that's already made and is just being ported. So yeah, it's just, it's proof that there is the market for it.
Yeah, and it's got 19,729 backers, and that's probably more copies than the game sold on the Wii U. So
I'm looking it up right now. Let's see.
Yeah, there's that, and then not only that, but apparently I don't know if it's true or not. The rumor was that they went to Nintendo, and Nintendo agreed to publish it, but only for the Switch, and they want to make it. They wanted to bring it to everything.
Yeah, as I say, they hit their first two stretch goals. The original goal was Nintendo Switch, and then their first two stretches were PlayStation and Steam. So those have already been met.
Yeah, and they said that it will have touch controls, because on the Wii U it was, you couldn't play it with just the one screen. Well, you could, but there were certain parts, like when you would go into a building, it would be on the bottom screen, and then you'd come out, and then it'd pop back up to the top screen.
So you're saying this is a game that might actually use the PlayStation 4 touchpad on PS4?
Maybe it will. Yeah. Stranger things have happened.
That's funny. Yeah, based on what it looks like here. The website I'm on is jumping all over the place.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to find numbers for it.
Yeah, the sales numbers are weird. They're not like, I don't know. The highest number I see is 13,000, 14,000, basically. And that says total. But the sales history is a very strange chart, so I'm not sure why. Like, I can't imagine it. I mean, maybe it is that low, you know? I don't know.
Wikipedia says Nintendo shipped 30,000 copies for Japan. The game sold 5,258 copies in its first week in Japan and reached 22nd place in its first week on the UK sales chart. So I don't think there's like good official sales information, but
yeah, interesting. So there you go. Wonderful 101, just rocking and rolling Kickstarter right now. And like Midfight Senpai in chat says, the power of Platinum Games, go play Nier.
Just gotta wait for that Kickstarter to bring Nier to the
Switch.
Switch, yeah.
Right. Okay, with that, let's jump on over to our talking points. Here we go. All right, we'll keep this short and sweet, but one island per console and the internet burned to the ground. That's it. Animal Crossing. You get one island per console. Like, if you have multiple profiles on there, you guys are sharing.
Not only that, but you cannot transfer your save to another system.
Right.
Oh, even with the
Yeah, even with the
What is Nintendo doing?
This is the second game to do it. Apparently there was a Yu-Gi-Oh game where you couldn't do it, but since you can have every profile using the same island, what happens is if you go to save it, it would have to bring every single profile over too, every profile that played it at least. So yeah, one island per console, and just hope nothing happens to that console.
This is a grand scheme to sell more of these brand new Switches coming out.
Oh, for sure. No, I mean, look, I think it's always been this way. Animal Crossing has always been this way, on the handhelds anyway. I don't know about the Wii version.
I was gonna say, going back because you played a lot on GameCube.
GameCube was one, unless you had a memory card.
But you had a memory card. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Technology's got to be better. I don't know.
The game save is to the system. So if the game's saved to the cartridge, then you would only need one. You could have one for every cartridge you had.
You would.
But
I mean, think they could use this to.
Yeah.
You would think they could use this to sell more SD cards and limit it to save it onto the SD card.
Have you taken the SD card in and out of the Switch?
No. I did it once when I went from 256 to 400, and I don't want to do it again. It's delicate. I'll lose it.
Right.
It's small.
Exactly.
I feel weird pulling it out. Like yeah.
It's like a SIM card.
Yeah. So, I mean,
people are not happy about it.
People aren't. It for me. I mean, this is the one. Like, this is the one game everybody in my household had their own copy of it. So that they could do, because if and here's the thing. Now, here's the reason why. Because I didn't want to share. I didn't want like my kids' stuff all over my island. Like their islands look like their rooms. Like I don't.
There's no running on Josh's island.
And there's no running. Do not. If you run on my island, you will never be invited back. I will tell you that.
I was invited over and I was told no running. I got a million bells and I didn't run.
Yeah. Not only that, but if someone is on your island, when you're as someone else that shares your profile, and in the old games, they would go in. If they were to buy all the good stuff out of the shop, then when you get on, you would have the same stuff. I mean, it's the same way on the DS and the 3DS. It had to stay. Like the 3DS, you couldn't transfer the save.
Right. Yeah.
So
this will be interesting to see. I mean, Nintendo doesn't really care, I guess, when the internet burns down when they announce stuff like this. But
no,
I wonder.
This is not
the Switch. The Switch is a new animal. It's not a 3DS, but it behaves like that a little bit when you are able to take it with you and walk around. But
yeah,
it's more expensive than a 3DS, so you got to think about that.
Yeah. I mean, it again, it's not going to be something that affects me, so I don't really care. But I can understand people that are going to be like, having to share with like an entire household, having to be on the same island, and then, like, if you are a parent and you don't like listening to your kids fight, I would just suggest buying them the second Switch if you can, because otherwise
go get a light. Go get a light for one of them.
Yes, because otherwise it's just it's not going to be fun. And then the island gets deleted, and I lost everything, and I just wanted to start over. I don't know. Like, yeah, it's gonna be like a you just have to referee that stuff. But let's talk a little bit about this marketing with this game, because this Switch got announced. Like I said, I got an email. The Nintendo Business Wire. I get the email and I'm like, huh, well, that's cool. But like, it's like 9 p.m. on a Thursday. You know what I mean? Or like,
yeah, I saw it on Wario 64. I have notifications turned on, and I think that's where I saw it first.
Yeah. So like, it was like, what is going on? Like, where's our directs? What's going on? And the answer is becoming more and more clear. This game was supposed to be a December game. That system was supposed to be out probably around the same time the Pokemon system was being sold. They were probably going to have the Pokemon Light system being sold and the Animal Crossing full-on Switch being sold. And, you could pick which one you wanted. Also strange that they're not putting the game with this. It's just a system with no game. Like, seems like such a...
Well, I'm thinking about that now. We were just talking, and we were talking about the fact that only one island. This might be the answer, because if you buy this Switch as a second thing for a kid or a spouse or whoever needs that second Switch so you don't share an island, you don't want to necessarily be locked into a digital copy. Maybe you want to have that physical copy so that when you're not playing it, somebody else can be playing it and you can pass carts. So maybe that's just freeing up the the consumer to make the choice if they want it digitally or physically, and they can share it between consoles easier that way.
Yeah, I don't know. They just charged $349 for the Smash Switch and put the game in there digitally with it.
Yep.
You know, so
Right. And that came out before the game too.
yeah, like
so
like
this
2
this
months
could do
before
the
the game.
same. This is the same thing basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then like you said, all the advertisement. It just all the YouTube videos I've been seeing about people talking about it. It's just like images that they see. Oh look, they had a promotional image that had like 6 new villagers and 2 of them are new, and then like the pictures they're showing are like blurry and like it's just like zoomed in. They
Right.
find brochures in different languages. Like oh
Yep.
look, it looks like it's about 6.2 gigs.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind
And
of crazy.
the but I really think this game getting delayed really threw a monkey wrench in the whole Nintendo marketing, like just that, like they had been pretty consistent with directs, the games coming out like you know, year after year, we can say at this point. And now it's like it's kind of been just eerily quiet from them for the last 2 to 3 months.
They had a commercial come out after the Super Bowl. It was like one of the first commercials after the Super Bowl was over. But it was promoting a dad and daughter playing after he got off work and she got off school or something like that, and they were playing Luigi's Mansion and
Breath of the
maybe
Wild.
Breath of the Wild, I think. So yeah, they were using older games and not promoting anything new.
Yeah, it's like Link's Awakening, I think.
Yeah, Link's Awakening. That's right.
Or was it Link's Awakening? Yeah. So I had people tweeting at me like, "Why wasn't this the?" And I'm like, I don't know why it wasn't the ad for Zelda 2, like or for Breath of the Wild 2. I don't know.
Yeah. And now they released like a small 30-second trailer of like a mom and her daughter both playing, but they're both playing on their own Switch lights.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
it's kind of weird that it seems like they're going to be advertising the Switch Lite a lot, but the Switch they have is just is an OG Switch.
Well, and I also wonder too, like, are we seeing a Switch Pro this year? Is there going to be that upgraded model? And they're kind of like, oh, this needed to sell last year, and now we're going to sell the special edition console. Then we're going to announce the Pro one, and people are going to be like, why did you just sell this one? You know, like.
I mean, and that was another thing when the Animal Crossing bundle or special edition Switch was announced. Everyone started pulling the quote from Nintendo that said, we have no plans to release a new Switch. I think obviously that it's in reference to everyone asking about the Switch Pro, but they're crucifying them for having a new Switch SKU come out and have it be this Animal Crossing thing when they're obviously not being no marketing department is going to give away what they're working on right off the bat when they're not ready to. But everyone kind of jumped all over them for have a tweet out or have a quote out there that says they don't have any plans to release a new Switch model, and then they do.
Right. Yeah. Because the stuff like this happens where a system come out. It happened with the 3DS, but they had the new 3DS came out in Japan before Smash Brothers came out, and so in Japan they got the new 3DS version with the Smash bundle with like the Smash characters, and then in America we got the same thing, but it was just a regular 3DS XL. So like now they're releasing this Switch, and then in I don't know a couple months they might show off the new Nintendo Switch, and people will be like, well, I want the new Nintendo Switch, but with the Animal Crossing print on the back. Who knows?
Well, all they'd have to do is just sell the Pro with all these, like resell some of these models with the Pro. I guarantee people would eat them up. They would eat them up. You know.
I mean, it just seems like the marketing department at Nintendo is having to recover from this, like you said, not having the timetable I'm sure they had kind of a Marvel master plan, like how Marvel has their movies planned out for 5 years. I'm sure they kind of had a Nintendo plan laid out when these games were going to come out. They've just been radio silent since pretty much the delay, and we had a small indie showcase, and that's kind of been it. We don't know, outside of these trickle of third-party games that are coming out, what is going on with anything.
And there's all these rumors about things getting rated, like PEGI ratings for like BioShock, and then and so it's only a matter of time before this stuff gets revealed. But I imagine they're waiting for a direct. But I don't know if they are waiting because, like you said, they were expecting Animal Crossing to be out, so they don't want to promote all these new games right before Animal Crossing comes out.
Yeah, and I was flipping through headlines. I was flipping through headlines as we were getting ready for the show, and I saw one that was listed saying there's going to be a Animal Crossing New Horizons direct coming sometime this month.
Yeah,
that was from a leaker. So I mean,
yeah,
you never know. But I mean, you can throw that kind of out there against the wall, and something's going to stick.
Here's something worth noting in all of this, is that the Switch is at 52 million consoles sold.
Sold or shipped?
Nintendo has, according to this Polygon article, Nintendo has sold more than 52 million Switch consoles since the system's launch. Okay, it's outsold the Super Nintendo now, and it is about half of what the Wii sold. Okay, so, and then it's like 4-1 on the old Wii U, right?
That wasn't hard.
No, and some are saying that it is already beating the Xbox One.
Right.
Yeah, because Xbox hasn't been forefront about numbers for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
The other thing worth mentioning, though, is let's see. Oh, is it not going to tell me the number? Let's see. The cart. So Mario Kart is at 22 million units sold. Smash Bros 17, Odyssey 16, Breath of the Wild. The way they have this worded, I can't really tell, but it looks like, from what last I saw a tweet or something somewhere, that Pokemon Sword and Shield has also done 16. That's faster than any other game, I believe. Mm-hmm. It has sold. Now they're saying both games are counting them as one, right? So, I mean, whatever, take it or leave it. But
it'd be nice if they counted both games as one for DLC.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm not sure who's making this. Whoa, easy, easy. You got a point there, but I ain't. Whatever, So but my point is, I kind of wonder if they're like, you know what? Let's ride this thing out for just a minute. Let's keep letting. Obviously, Mario Kart's still selling.
Yeah,
Smash is still selling.
So that Mario Kart number seems off for a second when you think about it, because you just said 52 million units sold. But then when you step back and think, like, who doesn't have that game on Switch? And I think official numbers is only like 1/3 of owners. It is not more like half, because the owners are more like you, who own more than one Switch. And I guess you own multiple copies of Mario.
I don't want to talk about how many copies I've bought of Mario Kart on the Switch.
I was going to say, yeah, you have too, but like, it contributes. But when you think about it, there's people that have bought. Chris has had a light and replaced a light that got stolen, and a Switch and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So he has multiple copies or multiple consoles that he's had, but only had one or a couple copies with your boys. You probably have multiple, but it's on a lot of Switches, but there's multiple Switches in households, so the number isn't quite matching correctly.
Right. Like, I ended up getting 6 Switches total, but 3 copies of Mario Kart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and in my case, I've bought a handful of physical ones to do as giveaways. I know I have at least, I think I have 2 or 3 physical copies at the house now. Plus the digital copy on my Switch, because I bought it when it was on sale, because I'm just like, this is my go-to game,
Yeah,
that
it's just
Smash
there.
But I will say, every single one of my family members that bought a Switch that don't really play games all bought Mario Kart.
Yeah, it's that and Breath of the Wild are kind of like you need to have that. We've gone over the top 5 games that we think everyone should have, so it's definitely
I
there.
heard that list. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So you hated that list?
He said he heard it, but the sound in his voice sounded like he disagreed with it.
Yeah, I heard it.
Well, that's all the time we have, so let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. Crawler, where can people find you?
You guys can find me if you're in Discord. You're seeing that I'm playing Escape from Tarkov a lot, so that's where you'll find me a little bit. But yeah, come hang out in Discord. If you're, like Josh said, interested in writing, hit him up and become part of that team and start writing some content. And otherwise, if you're looking to play games with people, come hang out there.
Super Nintendad, where can people find you?
Oh, yes. You can find me on Twitter at Super Nintendad. I think I'm getting ready to start a new podcast. I don't know what it's about. I'm thinking of using the name Getting to Bone Me. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
What?
And
Don't repeat it. They can rewind if they want to hear it again.
all right, that'll be the one time. But it's a sequel to Get in These Pants. But you can also find me just real quick. This week, Knights and Bikes comes out on the Switch, and I've wanted it for a long time. Knights and Bikes are a really good co-op game that you can play with your kids.
With your kids who are not listening now after the name of your last podcast.
Well, yeah, but yeah. And now that you bring them back, tell them about Knights and Bikes.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Knights.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no, hey, it's been good. Guys, you can follow me everywhere at N64Josh. Yeah, you want to become a writer? You want to help create, game news for N64Josh.com? Hit me up in the Discord. I'm like, this could be the kind of thing that we could even send teams to different events depending on where you live. Like there's PAX East coming up, E3. I'm even going to look into trying to get into GDC. I just want to see, and as the brand grows, it'll give more opportunity for things like that. So this doesn't have to necessarily, this could be worldwide because you got stuff happening, we've got with Gamescom in Germany, things like that. So like, this is open to anybody. Just hit me up in the Discord as long as you got some writing chops and and I can teach you how to use WordPress. That's what and kind of just the format of the way posts should be written and whatnot. And other than that, like we can rock and roll. So thank you guys so much for listening. Greatly appreciate it. Super Nintendad, thanks for joining us.
If you guys are missing Eric should be back hopefully next week as well.
Yeah, hopefully. So, yeah, with that, you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and we'll see you later. Bye now.